says Vanilla Ice calls the 1990s the greatest decade, and says computers and iPhones destroyed pop culture.
I think I saw this video.
Did you see a video for this?
I think so.
Okay. So there's a quote that was pulled, and he says, it was the greatest decade ever before computers ruined the world. I said of everyone's love for the 90s. He said, you have to realize that in 2004, the iPhone came out, right? What's happened to pop culture since 2004 to 2021? Nothing. It's the lost generation. Pop culture is dead. That's based off computers and the iPhone, not Androids. just the iPhone.
Is that an anti-iPhone?
I don't know what's going on. They might have cut him a check. I don't know what's going on. And then let's see. There's another comment where he says, "Let's see. Let me make sure I find."
What did he say?
He says, "What he say?" Pop culture was alive and mentioned he mentioned fashion and actually mimic music, and he says he doesn't believe that the generation could come out with anything cool. He said that LeBron can't even come close to outselling Michael Jordan's Air Jordans, even though Jordan hadn't played in a decade and all that.
He has to go and make like a decent comment and then say something stupid.
Right. Right, exactly. So
see, he had a point there, but then it started to go somewhere else.
He took it somewhere else. He dropped the ball, right?
Yeah. Then you start bringing Jordan and LeBron. I was like, all right, man. Now,
so Lone, I'm gonna come to you first, man.
Awesome.
Yes.
Why?
Talk to me.
Say it.
Yes.
Yes. Honesty.
Yes, that's exactly why I'm coming to him.
Go Turtle, go. Let's go.
And Lone is a way better rapper than Vanilla Ice, by the way. When he chooses to. All right.
That was nice of you to say.
That was a backhanded.
No.
Yeah, really. I was like,
no, y'all not gonna do this. No.
When he chooses
I think he means
because he don't rap. Like Lone doesn't rap like that.
That's not how it sounded.
Oh, well, that's where I
mean,
going.
I know what you're meaning.
Thank you, man. Y'all, Red August, man. Cut it out. All right. Talk to me, Lone, man. Did the iPhone destroy pop culture, man? The computers and all this, or
no?
He wasn't even going in possibly the right direction?
Oh yeah, he was definitely in the right direction. But those two individual things, I don't think destroyed anything. I think technology and just the evolution of the world is just kind of where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if you can really blame like a phone and a computer for that. You know, that's just the world changing. You know,
evolution.
I think there's some merit though to, you know, growing up in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think there is some merit to that. And I know every generation says that, you know what I mean? But I think from our generation to the next, it is a lot different. And, you know, you go from going outside to not going outside. I mean, that's
that's big.
The world really changed quite a bit, you know? And so I feel what he's saying. And I think maybe it's because I'm also in that age range that I can, you know, attest to that. But as far as technology is concerned, well, we've talked about it multiple times on the show. I do think it's, you know, we're just in a microwave society right now. And, you know, it's just the race for content. Put out as much content as possible. That's what it is right now. Content. Couldn't do that back then. You had to actually sit and marinate. You had to listen to things. You know, you had to go and buy the really bad album, and you didn't know if it was bad until you bought it. You know, like you liked the single, and then that Jurassic 5 single CD came in, and you're like, it's gonna be great. And then it's just it's Jurassic 5. And then,
we're talking about quality control, aren't we?
Quality control.
Yeah,
yes.
I remember I bought that whole album.
I did too. I was like, this is gonna be great. I like the single, and then I was like, what is this? It wasn't as good as Icons.
No.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
no, I'm joking.
Don't do that. We
He's over there getting crunked up.
Yeah. Shouts to Charlie Tuna.
Hey.
But no, it's so hard to compare it because you know, it's two completely different worlds. And you know, I get what he's saying, and there might be some merit to it. The part that's interesting to me is when he talks about there's no pop culture anymore, because now it just seems like that's all there is.
That's what I was waiting on somebody to say.
So it's like it's like pop culture has become so much that it's encompassed in everything.
That's what I was looking for.
Maybe that's what he means. I don't know, but yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got to say about that.
Jay Moore, what you think, man? And I'll finish with you, Red August.
Well, you know, there was a time to where, you know, if you went to, if I remember going to see my grandparents in Kansas City, and I would listen to the radio which the station that's equivalent to the station I grew up listening to, Magic 108 in St. Louis, and they would have a completely different playlist because they'd have some things that were the same, but then at the same time there were certain things that were like, oh, this is popping over here, or if you went to California, anywhere up and down the coast, it was going to sound different than what you heard in Connecticut or New Jersey. I miss that because there was a time where like, yo, they might print about a song that's in the source and we may not get in St. Louis for 2 months.
That's a good point.
Computers and the iPhone,
not Android not Android, not BlackBerry, not none of that.
Changed it to where, okay, you get on your particular DSP and everybody gets everything the exact same day, the exact same time. So it has changed that. The way culture moves is just different. Now, is there still pop culture, and is it still regionalized? Because, what they are doing in Memphis right now may not be the same as what's popping, in Baltimore. I think sometimes we do get caught up in and we do it here. If you listen to this show, we get caught up in our old headism. Sure. I'll make that a word.
Yeah. I'm not gonna deny that. That's facts.
Because we're like, oh, these kids don't know about going to a midnight sale and ripping that packaging open and reading the liner notes, and they don't. But just because they have a different experience than us, it doesn't mean that pop culture is dead. It's just the way we consume pop culture has completely changed, and it is with the advent of computers and iPhones. It's like now when I wake up on. The thing is, it used to be you had to have a whole rollout, put out the single. Okay, get them hyped. Then give them the street single. Okay, all right. We got 2 months, and then we're going to go ahead and give them the album. Now people be like, it'll be Monday.
You missed a step. We're going to invite the writers. The writers are going to get the plug, get the album a month ahead and be able to put it in the source prior to it coming out.
Because you got to have lead time
right.
for a magazine.
Right.
Now, basically something comes out on Friday and everybody's writing about it the same day.
Right.
So I understand where he's coming from because it just feels so different. But that's the evolution of any culture. Like, there was a time where, okay, you had to go to the store and get your vinyl or your 8-track or whatever, and then when you talk to people who are like, oh man, you guys don't, it's so much warmer when you listen to it on vinyl as opposed to this digital, this, that, and the third. You guys don't know about going to shows and getting this kind of merch.
Might not be lying on that one.
And you used to have to buy your 𝐀𝐁𝐎𝐿𝐲 in the store.
Yeah,
now you can order them online.
Yeah, now if you find something, now it used to be if you wanted some shoes, you had to go to the store. And if they didn't have your size, you went to the other 2 shoe stores in the mall and hope that they had them there. Now people get on, they get online, they might bid for them. Yeah. It's all this other stuff. So do I think there's still culture? Yes, of course there's still pop culture. Shout out to I was about to say shout out to Vanilla Ice, but I'm not going to do that.
Please don't do that. Yeah,
that would compromise.
Let's not get carried away.
That would compromise all the hip hop capital I've built up until this point.
Yeah, let's not get carried away.
I'll say it. Shout out Vanilla Ice.
Oh wow, you don't say. All right, man. Cut it out, man. Red August, man.
Don't be a hater.
I'm trying not to. Red August, what you think about what he said, man? Like, what are your thoughts?
It sounds bitter. It sounds like
like my time has passed. My time was better than yours.
If you don't,
his haircut's the same.
Wow.
When you don't adapt to change,
like
you become angry with what's going on. I think like to say that there's no pop culture or pop culture is dead is just weird because like you guys both say, like it's more prevalent now than it ever has been. I mean, we just have more access to it and faster access to it. It's almost immediate now. So it's like, and everyone has an opinion and we can see what's going on in Memphis and LA, even overseas, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it just sounds like he didn't keep up with what's going on. Like he's not talked about anymore. Yeah. And so this is my jab at technology. This is my jab at evolution. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to evolve. Like, I don't like
it's just like at one point, okay, like with the t-shirt I got on. All right, this is for those who are listening, it says Mega Drive 16-bit. Now, for some of you who are like heavy into video games, you know that everywhere else in the world, the Sega Genesis
was
called the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
But you know what? If of course we know this now because of the internet.
Man.
But there was a time where, like, if you weren't just one of these people that was digging deep into these magazines, or you had a plug that was, about Japanese gaming culture, you just thought, oh, this is the Sega Genesis, and it's like this everywhere. Like, you didn't realize what was going on in Japan or in Europe or Brazil.
I want to commend you real quick for being able to talk through Lone sounding like a Decepticon sitting next to you, fam. Like,
it was an ad lib, man.
I want to commend you for that because you stayed on point.
I got a level of focus that is unmatched.
I respect that, man.
He was talking about the
Mega Drive. So there are people who see the shirt and be like, I don't know, what is that? I was like,
I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, but that's just like. There are things now. There are people. I saw this. Somebody posted like all these American stars used to go over to different countries, and do commercials.
Yeah,
and if you're a big Hollywood star, you would never do a commercial in America, but you could get like I saw a Michael Jackson commercial where he was doing a Suzuki Samurai commercial in Japan. Like he would never do that to dilute his brand.
You ever seen
in
the
America.
movie Lost in Translation?
Yeah,
that's what that's about.
Yeah,
I mean, kind of.
I mean, I remember
Eddie Murphy used to do a commercial for Toyota Celica. Like he would never do that in America, but he can go to Japan and do it. But now because of YouTube, it's all out there.
One of my best friends growing up, my homie Corey Johnson. He had a cousin. He had cousins that were from Africa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is back we were kids and the Nintendo 64 was coming out.
Kids.
And they children, whatever you want to call it. And youngins. And they kept talking about the Ultra 64. Oh man, wait till y'all play the Ultra 64. And I'm like, I thought it was called Nintendo 64.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess over there it was called the Ultra 64. I don't know.
See, I mean, like that's like it wasn't until like when they did get to like PlayStation and stuff where the system was called the same thing everywhere around the world. We call it the Super Nintendo. Over there it's called the Super Famicom. It doesn't make any sense. But like you wouldn't have known that until like the internet age where everything like we were sectioned off really unless you read like crazy books and magazines about stuff like that.
I think that's still the case though. Like they like in like overseas they have different names for just like gadgets and stuff like that. I know for like cameras, like they don't call them like Canon like R5. Like they have a completely different name for them overseas stuff like it. I think that's still.
But like at one point, like we would have never known that. Like I remember a friend of mine when he went to go play baseball in Japan.
Yeah,
and he was like, in Japan, Nintendo's called Family Computer. I was like, what?
Right.
That blew my mind that it wasn't called the Nintendo.
What kind of translation is that?
I didn't know that.
Say long?
I was like, what? They got it 3 years before we did? I'm like, how are you going to get something before America?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, it used to be a thing, really. If you were making music on the West Coast, like I remember a friend of mine, he said, "Oh yeah, I had Doggy Style like about a month and a half, 2 months before it came out."
That's crazy.
In stores, everyone was passing around tapes of Illmatic and Ready to Die.
I do remember hearing people in documentaries talk about that.
Way before they were able to get it. Like Puffy almost had to go up and fight somebody because they played all of Ready to Die on the radio.
Ghostface said this is crazy. Ghostface said he got a tape of Illmatic from 2 French girls that were like, I don't know, walking around somewhere or something, and they gave him a tape of Illmatic. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy to me when you think Illmatic just floating around on tape.
On tape. I mean, that's why didn't nobody buy it when it came out.
Hey.
Well,
we know how you feel about
Hey, look, man. Let's just keep it real. Illmatic, everybody had Illmatic 2 months before it hit the stores, so it was like it had good copies.
The original bootlegger.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Vanilla Ice needs to chill out because he just
get to rehabbing them homes.
Yeah, he just sound a little
Robert Van Winkle.
Yeah, he sound a little upset. He sound a little upset on this one. You're old headish.
If you've enjoyed this segment from the New Old Heads podcast, make sure to join our live chat every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/New Old Heads Network. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. We also invite you to join our private Discord community at newoldheads.com/community.